Welcome back to the channel for a preview of Saturday's game, Port Vale against Northampton Town. Hopefully we can continue the good run and make it 4 wins on the trot and keep climbing that League One table. Let's give a bad day out weather-wise, which always a leveller when it's windy and it's rainy. So hopefully those storm conditions, they're not at the worst between 3 o'clock and 10 to 5 on Saturday. So Northampton Town, when I had a look at the record we've had against them over the years, I was quite surprised really, because most of the teams we've played up to now this season, we've had a winning record against, or very close record against. But Northampton Town over the years, they've got a winning record against us, which I would have thought it would have been the other way around. So in our history, we've won 25 against Northampton, we've drawn 23, and we've lost 31. And just before we get into the preview, let's have a little bit of a reminisce about, we'll pick 3 out of games regarding Northampton Town that I can remember that stand out. And the first one is a game that I attended in the 78-79 season. No, 79-80 season. And we played Northampton Town in September of that season, and we beat them 5-0. One of the heroes, cult hero of the Vale, he scored on that night. Bernie Wright, Phil Sprosen, and Neville Chamberlain. Yeah, and we beat Northampton 5-0. And what was a bit amazing about that, it was a poor season that was for the Vale. And we'd lost the opening 4 games of the season, the lot. Then on the 5th, which was the previous Friday before we beat Northampton 5-0, we played Crewe away. And it was on a Friday night, and that was our first victory of the season. We won 2-0 at Crewe. So then the following Saturday, 5-0 we went against Northampton, and we're thinking, oh, we've turned the corner here. We've got it going a little bit. But no, football's a funny old game. And then the following Tuesday, we lose at Bradford 2-1. And then one of the worst games that season, we played Huddersfield away. And we got beat 7-1, having been 7-0 down. Culminated and finished 5th from bottom that season. Terrible season. So yeah, the 5-0 victory against Northampton, one of the bright sparks of that season. And the second game I remember was in the 81-82 season in February. And it was just one of those anomaly games whereby you get now and again, where there's no rhyme and reason for the scoreline. And it's just a mad game. And so we went to Northampton, who played at the county ground in them days, not the Sixfield Stadium, the county ground. And we played them, and we were 4-0 up at half time. Absolutely battered them, we did. 4-0 up at half time. Everybody's thinking, oh, this is going swimmingly. Not a problem. Then as football goes, before you know it, 15 minutes to go, Northampton have got it back to 4-3. And it looks like it's looking like it's either going to be a draw or even defeat. So yeah, so we're 4-0 up. They get it back to 4-3. Then with 10 minutes to go, football was different in them days. Unlike where you've got the top players who earn enough money just to retire, in those days they didn't. So when they were getting towards the end of the career, they had to come down the lower leagues. And one player in particular who came to play for the Vale, and he was massive for Man United in his day. Attacking midfield player in the realms of Lampard and Gerrard. And like I say, played season upon season for Manchester United in the top flight. And his name was Jimmy Greenough. And he came to play in the 81-82 season for the Vale. And on that game we're talking about, Northampton, when we were 4-0 up at half time, got it back to 4-3, and 10 minutes to go, good old Jimmy Greenough scored to make it 5-3. And we ended up going out 5-3 winners. Crackers game, but a good game to watch. And the third one, which needs a special mention, is the one in 2012-13, when we gained promotion on the last home game of the season against Northampton, a 2-each draw. When Lee Collins, ex-Vale player, who sadly passed away, scored an own goal to give us promotion on that day with about, I don't know, it was about 7 or 8 minutes to go. And there was nearly 13,000 there that day. So, great day all round, great promotion celebrations, and definitely a game to remember against Northampton. So that's the 3 we've picked out. So before we move on again to the review, the players that have played for both clubs, and there have been quite a few to be fair when I was looking. You've got sort of Chris Lyons, you got Mark Richards, Adam Yates. He had a spell on loan there. You got Leon Constantine, the Marmite player. He used to play for the Vale, who scored 30 goals in a season. You got JJ Hooper, who would never score 30 goals in a season, absolutely useless. And you got Sam Foley, who was a great player in his Yeovil days. Come to the Vale, great player for the Vale, and went on to play for Northampton. And still playing, I think, for Barrow, which he's got to be as old as me, 54. He's been playing that long, but still a decent player. And then you've got the much maligned James Wilson, who literally like a jigsaw, made it so brittle, unbelievable. And good player for the Vale, but totally injury prone, which he held his career back consistently, constantly. And a shame really, because he definitely got bags full of talent. So yeah, those are the players that play for both clubs. So Northampton at the moment, where are they? They're 13th in the league. They've won 4, they've drawn 1 and lost 4. So they've got 13 points. They've won 4 out of the last 5. But they've only played 4 games away from home, which they've lost 3, won 1, scored 2 goals, let in 7. Which is totally different to their own record, where they only let 1 goal in. So they seem like a bit chalk and cheese at home and away from home. But I think they're a team that we should be looking to get at. Impose ourselves, given our recent run of form, given their away record. And if we do that, I think we could be in for another victory. So get on to the teams. Let's have a look. What do I think Darren Moore is going to pick? Well, given his team selection last week, I don't think there's one Vale supporter, fan, anybody associated with Port Vale, apart from Darren Moore, would have chosen that team. So it is literally like Darren Moore bingo. Whatever comes out of that art gets played. And I think, like I said, I think on the review, I think he got away with it a little bit. They were amazing. They played really well, don't get me wrong. But I just think playing different players, you still would have got the same outcome in that situation. So what do I think Darren Moore's going to do? Totally different to me again. And I don't think he'll keep the same team. Whereas you would expect a sort of side who's played that well to keep the same team. But I don't think he's going to keep the same team. I think he'll have Gucci in goal. I think the back 5 will be the same. I think it's Gabriel because there's nobody else really, with Mitch Clark being injured. I think he'll put Humphreys on the right, Deborah in the middle, Hall and Headley. Now, I think he'll make a change in midfield. I think he'll keep Byers and he'll keep Garrity, because they're the blue-eyed boys, can do no wrong. Can't drop them. And I think the third one, I think he'll bring Ryan Croasdale back, because he'll just want more legs, hopefully, in that midfield. And Jordan Shipley, wow. He was garbage last Saturday. He was garbage. So even in the winning time, he can't keep him in the side at home. He can't. If you have Byers, Garrity and Shipley in the same midfield, there's not enough legs. There is not enough legs there. So I think he'll shoe on Croasdale in there. And then up front, that'll be interesting because he's got to play Devante Cole. Now, he brought Brown in out the blue last week and played him up front. And from what he said in the past, he's been chasing him for the past 3 transfer windows. I'd like to know why. Because he ain't a goal scorer, he isn't a finisher. So I don't see no reason why you go chasing him. Fair enough, he scored a few goals at Gateshead. Well, that's National League. So seeing as though he's been chasing him, he's made it public about this, I think he's going to give him a run. So I think it's going to be Cole and Brown up front that he'll pick for Saturday. So what would I do? We agree on one thing, apart from a little technical issue with it. The back six, including the goalkeeper, we keep the same. So we've got Gucci, Gabriel, and what I would do, like it was proved against Arsenal, I'll put Humphreys in the middle of that back three. We'll get more of the ball at home than away from home, and we need to utilise it to its advantage. Having Jesse Deborah there, okay, away from home, and we're not going to get the ball as much, but at home we're going to get more possession. So we need Deborah on the right, we need Humphreys in the middle, Hall on the left, and Headley left wing back. Now the midfield, keep banging on, and I'll keep saying it. I've got to be true to my word. The three that he'll pick for Saturday, I'll have none of them. None of them. The best midfield we've got at our football club that's been proven this season, and especially at home, where we need to be dynamic, we need to get around the pitch. We need to be creative. Away from home is totally different, but at home we need to be on the front foot, impose ourselves, and the best midfield we've got at our football club to do that is Funzo Ojo, Reece Waters, and George Hall just behind the front two. So that's my midfield. Then up front, Devante Cole, and for me it's got to be Rory Payton. You've got to bring him back. Not only is Luke's a far better player this season than last. If you look at his dead ball situations, his corners, his free kicks, his crosses into the box, and you look at somebody like Jordan Shipley, what he gives you, it's like day and night. The running that he'll do off the ball, the intelligence with his through balls. He's a better player than Brown. He's the second best forward that we've got. And he should be up front with Devante Cole on Saturday. So what do I think the result's going to be? Well, if we impose ourselves on the game, we play the right game, there's no reason why we can't. This is a winnable game for us. We don't want to be going Barnsley winning 2-0 and coming at home to Northampton, stinking the place out, sitting behind the ball like we do every first half, till the final half an hour, give it a go, finding ourselves a goal down, full panic on. Let's take it to them. Right tactics, right team, we win 2-0. And I think we will win. And I think we will win 2-0. So thanks very much for listening. Please like, please subscribe. And most importantly, let's continue this up the Vale.